Thank you, members of the fourth estate. As you may recall, about a fortnight ago, we proceeded to court, to the Kericho High Court, through Ksh.10 to make a cry for justice on behalf of the parents and the students of Litein Boys High School. This is after the principal of that school gave certain directives requiring parents of that institution to pay up to a tune of 49,000 shillings. That is exclusive of the pending school fees balance as a condition precedent to the readmission of Form 4s back to school. For that matter, the parents or the students could not be readmitted back to school if they failed to pay or to honor the demand that was made by the principal of that school. As it were, we got directives from the judge requiring us to appear before the judge on the 17th day of October 2025, which turned out to be a public holiday in commemoration with the life and the times of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, for the time that he spent on earth and for what he did for our country. So we got further directions to appear before the Honorable Court today, the 21st day of October, to urge the court on 3 of our pending applications. One that we filed on the 8th day of October, another one that we filed on the 13th day of October, and a subsequent one that we filed on the 16th day of October 2025. So today, the court was pleased to hear our submissions. Led by my senior, Mr. Dunstan Omari, we made very lengthy submissions in urging the court to make certain interim measures to permit or allow students of Litein Boys High School to be readmitted back to school so that it could give them a chance, or so that they will be given an opportunity of going back to school and writing their exams that commences tomorrow, the 22nd day of October 2025. So after lengthy submissions by my senior, Mr. Dunstan Omari, and myself, the court, having given audience to the principal, Mr. Ksh.10, to address the judge on the demand, this 49,000 shillings that is required. So what was made clear to the mind of the court is that an interim deposit of 25,000 shillings was made as a condition precedent to the readmission of Form 4s back to school. This condition of 25,000 shillings as a deposit of the 49,000 shillings that was previously demanded by the school was supposed to be paid before these students will go back to school. This explains why on a Friday, when these boys went back to school for the rehearsal, most of them were chased away from school because of their failure to honor the 25,000 shillings. So as of today, the court has given certain directions, which we have received with gratitude. And we applaud the good judge, my Lord Justice Sargon, for giving these directions. The court has ordered that in the meantime, that the school permits the readmission of these students upon the payment of 10,000 shillings, which is a relief to parents that came to us crying out for justice, saying that in view of the current harsh economic times, that they will not and they are not able to pay the 49,000 shillings, or at the very least, the 25,000 shillings that was demanded by the school. So for that reason, parents who had rushed or come to us seeking anonymity, or seeking that we do not disclose their names or the names of their students or their children, then it means that they will be allowed to go back to school after paying the 10,000 shillings that the court has ordered. Then subsequently, the balance of that deposit of 25,000 shillings is staggered or can be staggered to future times, so that in a fortnight or in the next 1 week, they can pay 5,000 shillings. I mean, that to us is something that is a good thing, at least for justice. It is an assurance that these students are going to sit for their exams as and when the school calendar so demanded. Is an assurance that our students are not going to be chased away from school because of their inability to meet the demands that were made by the school. I think that should be all from me for now. I'll pave the floor for my senior, Mr. Omari, so that he can also add 2 or 3 things.
Over 800 candidates of Form 4. The school, by Friday, coerced some parents intimidated the parents. And some parents, out of fear, sold their cows, sold their tea, because Litein is a tea growing zone, and they managed to pay 25,000 shillings. On top, the school was demanding fees arrears. Some of the fees arrears is the capitation that comes from the Ministry of Education, where these students have no control. The principal wanted them to pay that which the government pays. So, more than 300 students were chased on Friday. Today in the morning, they were hoping the court will listen to them and allow them to go back to school. We have convinced the court, and the court has said they only pay 10,000 shillings. Unconditionally, they get to school. They do their exam. Next week, they pay 5,000 shillings. The judge has allowed us to do submissions on the 29th of this month, and the judge will give a judgment before the end of this month, so that the 49,000 shillings, if found to be reasonable, then the parents will be ordered to pay. If found to be unreasonable, that amount they are paid, the 25,000 shillings, plus those ones who will pay 10,000 shillings today, will be refunded. We are certain that this is a landmark decision from Justice Sargon, where the students have won, and this represents the question about whenever a strike happens, who should carry the responsibility? Is it the management for failure to manage a school properly? Because why do other schools don't go on strike? And those are the questions that we are putting to the judge. Why should you condemn students to pay when the TSC has sent an incompetent teacher to be the head of the institution? Kenya has more than 6,000 secondary schools. Why should we have only 2 or 3 going on strike, and you punish those students? Those students have sisters and brothers in other schools. They don't go on strike. So we've raised those issues, and we keep the world aware that Article 53 protects the right for students to access education without hindrances. We thank Justice Sargon. We thank the media, because the media has captured this story, because it affects very many Kenyans, students who are candidates and those who are going to join in secondary school next year. Thank you very much, unless there are any questions.